Hi everyone. Are you on a spiritual awakening journey and the awareness is unfolding for you that you can trust this inner guidance, this inner knowing voice within you, but you're struggling with trusting that fully? Well, today I am going to share with you 3 ways to begin to trust that connection with your inner guidance. My name is Lanora Lennon, and I help people shift into a paradigm of possibility. Let's get started. So, the first way to learn to begin to trust that inner guidance more fully and completely is to make sure you're spending quality time alone. Do something that makes you feel connected to you. So, for myself, I like to spend time alone. Often it's in the morning when I'm drinking my slightly caffeinated coffee. I'm too sensitive for the full caffeine, but I take a little bit of caffeine, enjoy my coffee. I love my morning coffee. And right now it's summer, so I sit outside and I just sit. I sit and I look at the sky and I look at the trees and I look at my pets walking around my yard. And then I look at my feet, and I look at my legs, and I sip my coffee, and I'll enjoy the taste of my coffee, and then I'll smell the air, smell the coffee, feel the breeze on my skin, and then I'll look at the sky. And so on and so on. And honestly, I could do this for a couple of hours, and I have. This is kind of my main way to connect with myself, is to just sit and be and enjoy. And so often a good way to spend quality time with yourself, self with a capital S, is to do something that engages your senses, your physical senses. So your sight, smell, taste, touch. What's the last one? You know what I'm saying. That's so funny. Sound, of course. Sound is actually a really important one, especially when you're outside, to listen to the sounds of nature. And then other ways are through artistic endeavors, and then again employing, taking time to be mindful with your senses. You know, if you love to draw or paint, feel the texture of the paper, feel the brush in your hand, notice the contrast of the color as you put the color to the page. If you're a singer, feel the air move into your lungs. What does the sound like reverberating in the room that you're in? Another way would be yoga, of course, yoga. So there's so many ways but make sure you're spending quality time with yourself to really develop that connection with self. The next way to start to begin to develop this trust in your connection with your inner guidance, your higher self, is when you come upon a fear or a worry or a doubt, instead of going right out to a friend and asking them, or just pushing it aside, sit with it and write down what you would tell a friend in this circumstance. How would you support a friend with this fear, worry, or doubt? write it out, see what happens. Right now, a big fear, worry, and doubt for me is stepping into this role of an online content creator and also wanting to develop my spiritual and personal coaching business, which these videos are just the beginning phases of that. And of course, there's a lot of fear and doubt that have come into that. But when I check it, and so you don't even necessarily need to write it down if you're a writer, good, but you can just stop, close your eyes, listen. What would you tell a friend? And what comes up for me is, girl, you have been at this life a long, long time. You have been seeking and experimenting with different roles in your work life for a long, long time. And the guidance that you've received to get you to this point has been so clear and uncanny. And it might be challenging right now, but there is a knowing with a capital K that I am on the right path. And so I just need to relax into the discomfort and move forward with the consistent, imperfect, committed action. Committed, consistent, imperfect action. Yes, learn to practice checking in with your inner guidance when you're having a struggle. It doesn't mean that you can't ultimately reach out to someone if that is, something that you would commonly do. If you have a tendency to kind of push things aside over and over again, that's a whole other video. The third way to learn to trust this inner guidance, this inner knowing, is to think of times in your life when you had a difficult decision to make. You instinctively knew the answer. Even though it was a difficult decision, you knew the answer. And sometimes it can take a long time to take action on that answer. But ultimately, when we do take action, we come to realize that it was the right decision all along. Now, whether you followed through on this inner guidance or not, likely you're going to have an answer as to if you should have followed through. But I think that ultimately when that inner guidance comes through super strong, eventually, in my case, I've had to follow through. The more recent, bigger inner guidance that I had was I had been running a small business offering pet care services for 9 years, and I knew it was time to make a change. I knew I was done with that role, although of course I still love all my little buddies, but I didn't know what my next role was going to be professionally. I just decided to enjoy my work until I got the inspiration. And then I got the inspiration that I needed to sell my house to fund some time off for myself, because unfortunately I didn't have the means otherwise I wanted to take a year off of work to just be and take it super easy. So, that whole process took about from the awareness that something needed to change to the waiting for the inspiration, and then the acting on the selling the house and taking the time off. It probably honestly took about 3 years for that all to play out. But I do believe that everything is in its divine timing, and it worked out amazingly. I ended up making about twice the amount that I was hoping for on the sale of my house, and I was already hoping for a lot, so it really worked out for me. And I've got this beautiful home now that I'm renting, and here I am, starting my new endeavor. Although, I'm birthing it right now. It's been in utero for the last 8 months or so. So things are birthing for myself. So yes, think of a time for you when you had to make a difficult decision, and how did you end up, ultimately making and taking and acting on that decision, and looking back on it, even though it might have been extremely challenging or timely or whatever it was, you know that it was the right decision. So there you have it, folks. 3 ways for you, beautiful awakening, awakening, I don't know, whatever I consider myself awakening. It seems to be ever unfolding. So 3 ways for you to begin to really trust that inner knowing, to tap into that true self-guidance, to what I believe is, for those of us who are doing this, is to become the beacons of love, light, and kindness that we need in the world to heal. And the world will heal. We are in some pretty challenging times now, to say the least, but there is hope. This is not the end, but we need to be standing for this truth of love and light, kindness and compassion. So good luck to you. If you liked this video, thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for checking out one of these 2 awesome videos that I've created for you as well. Have a wonderful day. Mwah!